We're with you in moments, big and small. This is Polk Today Video. Kevin, the editor here. We've got a few things to share on this episode, including news about a chase that happened over the weekend. I took some much-needed time off, but it wasn't all fun and games. See the damage done at the end of this episode of Polk Newswire for Monday, June 6th, 2022. Let's get into the news after a word from a sponsor of PolkToday.com. This Polk Newswire episode is brought to you by Gammon, McFall, and Villarreal attorneys at law in Cedartown. Whether you're in need of legal advice or just want to plan ahead for the future, Gammon, McFall, and Villarreal have decades of experience to help you when you need it. Make sure to check out our friends at Gammon, McFall, and Villarreal in Cedartown by calling 770-574-4925. That's 770-574-4925 for a free consultation, or visit gmvlawfirm.com to learn more now. Thanks to Gammon, McFall, and Villarreal for providing free local news content like this, found at polktoday.com. Law enforcement arrested a Rome man after yet another chase on Highway 278 reached triple-digit speeds and fortunately came to an end without anyone getting hurt. Police on Saturday arrested Brian Tinch, 23, of Rome after Polk County Police caught him going 102 miles an hour near the intersection of Yorkville Highway and Highway 278 on the eastern side of the county. Police began a chase, but Tinch refused to pull over and at one point reached speeds of 120 miles per hour before he lost control near the intersection of 278 and 113 in Rockmart. Police did note that after Tinch crashed into the wood line along Highway 278, his car's engine caught fire but was put out by officers on the scene. Tinch was pulled out of the car by the Rockmart Fire Department and was ultimately arrested after being checked out at Polk Medical Center. He faces multiple charges including reckless driving and fleeing or attempting to elude, among others, and remained in the Polk County Jail as of the writing of this script without any bond set. Find full details online at polktoday.com about his arrest. Also, head over to polktoday.com to learn more about a drug bust that happened after our last episode came out. 4 people were arrested after methamphetamine and marijuana was found when officers from the Polk County Drug Task Force conducted a search at 422 Long Avenue in Rockmart. We have additional info about what happened during the June 1st bust online. Moving on to some good news to share from one local youth came in over the weekend as her music career continues to grow. Local talent Isabella Hartline, now 14 and heading into 9th grade, started out her career in country music as a middle schooler here in Cedartown, and ever since she's been putting out new tracks every few months for fans to sing along to locally and around the globe. Her newest release, titled Unlove You, is now available on several platforms on Saturday morning. We can't play the track for you because of copyright issues caused by sharing social media platforms, but we have included a link in the description of this video for you to find and enjoy the song. Make sure to check out her newest single and other tracks she has available on all the platforms out there. And let's help Isabella get a chart topper this summer here from Polk County. You can find out more about Isabella as well on polktoday.com and our latest story on her new release. One more short note from our friends over at GNTC that also provides some positive news here in Polk County. The family of the late Tallapoosa Judicial Circuit Superior Court Judge Dan Wynn has established a second scholarship at GNTC. The Dan Wynn Adult Education Scholarship will support adult education students on the Polk County campus. Manuel de Jesus Alonso is the first recipient of the new scholarship, helping him gain class time learning to weld while also getting his GED. Wynn, who passed in 2016 at the age of 94, also has scholarships honoring his legacy given to CHS and RHS students annually. Find out more about the newest scholarship on polktoday.com and a release posted earlier today. Before we move on to talking about how hot it's going to be over the next few days, we want you to remember to stay hydrated and drink lots of water this summer to ensure you stay healthy and cool. Thanks to our sponsors over at Atrium Health Fluid, we've got a whole column available about the importance of water in your life at polktoday.com. Check out more there. Okay, now let's get into the forecast coming up for the rest of the week. Look for chances of thunderstorms to dominate the forecast here in Polk County for the next few days, as temps are expected to remain in the mid to upper 80s. Tuesday is expected to be in the upper 80s with a 30% potential for storms and a low of 67 overnight with additional chances of rain. Wednesday's weather may be the day we actually get some more widespread rainfall and thunder with a 50% chance of thunderstorms on the day and a high of 88. Heading into Thursday, the National Weather Service calls for chances of rainy weather down to 20%, and then overnight partly cloudy skies. Look for a high of 89 and a low of 63. Capping off the week is a 40% chance of storms again on Friday. The thermometer is up to 89, and overnight showers and thunderstorms overnight are expected as well with a low of 67. We'll have an update on the forecast later in the week to see what's coming up for Saturday and Sunday. We have several folks to remember in today's edition of In Memoriam on Polk Newswire. First, prayers for the family of Miss Ann Sanders Keller, who passed on June 1st at the age of 89, a former educator for the Polk School District and was a native of LaGrange and an Auburn alum. Her services were handled by Alice Miller and Son Funeral Home, and she was laid to rest on Sunday. We here at Polk Today add a War Eagle for Ann and send out our thoughts and prayers to her family. Reverend James A. Cowboy Rogers also passed away on June 1st at the age of 81 in Cedartown. The longtime Baptist preacher at Union Grove Baptist was also a U.S. Army vet and a member of the Masons. Services were held on Saturday, June 4th, and handled by Smith & Miller Funeral Home in Cedartown. Rebecca Jones of Aragon passed on Friday, June 3rd at the age of 62. She was a native of Rome and lived in the Rockmart area all of her life. Services were being handled today by Alvis Miller and Son Funeral Home. Additionally, on Friday, Jack Ingram of Rockmart passed away at the age of 74 at his residence. He was a local farmer and worked for Harrelson Termite Company for 40 years. Services were being handled today by Alvis Miller and Son Funeral Home in Cedartown, who handled arrangements for the family. Lastly, send out your prayers for the family of Cindy Williams of Aragon, who passed on Sunday, June 5th at the age of 60. Arrangements are planned for Wednesday and are being handled by Alvis Miller and Son Funeral Home. Find these obituaries and more on polktoday.com. Today's remembrances are brought to you by Freeman Harris Funeral Home in Rockmart, who have been serving generations in Rockmart and are in the midst of transforming their East Elm Street home into a place to honor your loved ones for many years to come. Find out more about these services they can offer your family in the description and the link, or call today at 770-684-6551. Thanks to Freeman Harris Funeral Home for supporting this and other free local news items on polktoday.com. Before we wrap up with this episode, let's take a look at some things you'll want to pay attention to this week coming up. The County Commission, the City of Cedartown's Commission, and the Board of Education all will gather this week for various meetings. The County Commissioners were meeting this evening for their work session, and again on Tuesday evening, June 7th, for their regular session. The work session starts at 5:30 p.m. today, and on the first Monday of every month at the County Police Headquarters at 73 Klein Ingram Jackson Road, Cedartown. Tuesday's meeting starts at 7 p.m. at the same location. Check polkga.org for agendas. Tonight, Cedartown Commissioners hold their monthly work session starting at 6 p.m. at City Hall on East Avenue. They'll have their regular session next Monday, same time and place. School board members are expected to gather on Tuesday at 6 p.m. for their works and community input session at the central office, but as of putting together this episode, we hadn't seen an agenda yet. There's a budget committee meeting before that at 4:30 p.m. as well. That's not the only thing happening around the area this week, thank goodness. Families can take part in a children's story time coming up this Thursday at the Polk County Historical Society Museum at 11:30 a.m. for local youth. Janelle Butler will be headlining the program. At the Cedartown Library and Rockmart Library, story times are planned with Terrell Shaw at both locations on Wednesday. He'll be at the Rockmart branch from 11 to 12 and the Cedartown branch from 2 to 3 p.m. Cedartown's library is also hosting their Intro to Computer class coming up at 11 a.m. on Wednesday. Get ready for some real fun on Thursday. The Southeastern Reptile Rescue Show is coming to the Rockmart City Gym at 2 p.m., courtesy of the library. Polk Today should be making it out there to check out the show as well. We'll have additional calendar updates in the next episode, but real quick, remember that Father's Day is coming up on June 19th. Make sure to do something nice for all the dads out there in the world. Okay, one last thing. Still not figured out a schedule here for the Polk Newswire content, but I'm going to ask the audience for your help. How many times a week should I be putting out an episode? Once, twice, 3 times? I want to hear your thoughts below on the subject in the comments section. It'll help me out immensely because honestly, this is a very time-consuming process. I want to use my time wisely. Would you rather read more stories? Would you rather see more like this? I really need to know. Especially after taking a few much-needed days off for what I call mental health purposes. But then, of course, on the way home Saturday night from hanging out with friends in Rome, a deer jumped out in front of Jess and I and caused a bit of damage to the front side of Janice the Jeep. She's drivable, just another headache I don't need, folks. So I'll encourage you to help support content like this by giving a contribution to Polk Today via the PayPal link in the description. I have Cash App and Venmo too, for those who want to reach out and give. You can also subscribe to the Opinion Creative Writing Project site. I have kevintheeditor.com for $5 a month to support me and what we do here at Polk Today. Keep local news free for all, and please help out. We could really, really use it right now. I'm Kevin, the editor. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Tune in for the next episode of Polk Newswire as soon as it becomes available.